Same goes for your signal caller on defense, John. Mason Foster will not play. Will Compton, though, started last year every game, so not much of a slip down there.
I don't, on the one hand, you hate to see Foster be out of the lineup, but on the other side of it, Compton gets to play a little bit, and it's been killing him to be on the sidelines for the past 2 games. So I think you'll get great effort out of Will Compton, no question about that.
Now the Raiders come in here 2-0, and what a wild day it's been in the National Football League. Raiders last week defeated the Jets 45-20, and Derek Carr has been on fire, Chris. How good is he, and can the Redskins deal with what he's bringing here tonight?
I think they can deal with it because I think they can play man coverage, and when you can play man coverage, you can make a quarterback look pedestrian because you can take away his receivers. But he is, Larry, very, very good, and he's good because he can make every throw on the field, including the immediate, I see my first read right now, I'll make the throw right now, and I'll take the quick gimme yardage. He can also break apart zone coverages, and most teams have to play zone against him because they don't have corners that can match up against Crabtree and Cooper. Redskins, I think, have a shot tonight, but if you end up getting beat, man, and falling into a bunch of zones, he'll tear you apart.
Well, this team won 11 games last year, so they're not surprised, but they are surprised. Coming east, beating the Jets, they're 2-0.
Yeah, got to deal with them. And John, the running game last week that showed up for the Redskins. Now, I don't know if you can see them running the ball as often as they did last week, but can the production be there from what you saw last week again tonight against a different, but in some regards, a smaller-sized Raiders defensive front?
I think the advantage of what they did last week is they feel, now they know they can run the football, and they had some success last week. I mean, it was the kind of success. That's the last time they're going to. Well, I say that, but do you really think that with the remaining schedule they're going to run for over 200 yards? Probably not. But having said that, they told themselves, or they were able to convince themselves that they can run the ball, and I think it's important that they stay with that, to not get away from it and just keep trying to throw the ball all the time. And you have to believe against the Oakland defense that they'll have some success. If they can get 125 yards rushing, I think that's going to go a long way in propelling that offense.
Chris, your thoughts on Jordan Reed? Sonny gave his. Now, you got Vernon Davis, you got Jeremy Sprinkle, his first game as a pro. He will be up tonight. And, of course, Niles Paul. What do the Redskins do to make up for the lack of production from Jordan Reed here?
Well, first start with Jordan Reed. And last year he did his AC joint in Dallas, and he came back, and he had a lot of adrenaline. He had a big game, the back half of that Dallas game. I credit him for coming back last week in Los Angeles. Again, adrenaline moment of the game. But if you guys remember when Jordan Reed came back the next couple weeks after his injury, not the same player at all. I think Jordan Reed needs to feel fresh to be a confident football player out on the field. I like Niles Paul. I like Vernon Davis. I think they both complement each other. And where you get that choice element or that quick option element, you have Jamison Crowder and you have Chris Thompson. They'll just have to pick up the slack a little bit. But you maybe want to get a bigger shot to Vernon Davis. Maybe push the ball vertical down the field with Niles Paul, where you're allowing Crowder and you're allowing Thompson to still have some space. They don't focus on them.
Would we, because of Reed being out, see Dotson more now?
Sonny, first of all, I think Josh Doxson had some looks last week where they should have gotten to him the football. There's some things that he does as a route runner. There's some things that I've seen him do as a pass catcher that I think dictate you have to get him involved. They haven't had really a 1 or a 2 receiver so far this season other than a couple quick throws to Pryor. Let's find out what Doxson can do. Yeah, they need to get Josh Doxson involved.
I agree.
Countdown to kickoff continues. 15 minutes from kickoff here at FedEx. Next comments from Jay Gruden as we continue, and you're listening to Washington Redskins football.
If it's in your nature to cast off the everyday and
all right, Mike, I don't know how many did it.
great way to celebrate. On with life.
This Washington Redskins broadcast is brought to you by McLean Mortgage Corporation. Lending. Technical innovations. Visit ChenegatiI.com. Brought to you by Sprint. Visit your local Sprint store and check out the all-new Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Ticketmaster, the official ticket exchange of the NFL. Brought to you by your Washington, D.C. area Honda dealers. Don't settle for less than a Honda. Finch Services, your exclusive John Deere golf and sports turf dealer. You're listening to the Washington Redskins pregame show, brought to you by Coke Industries. ChallengeAccepted.com. Here's your host, Larry Michael.
Along with two Hall of Famers, John Riggins, Sonny Jurgensen, two tight ends, Rick Doc Walker and Chris Cooley. Time to hear from the coach, Jay Gruden, brought to you by Metro. What started as Metro's promise is now Metro's progress. Find out more at WMATA.com/back2good. First question for the coach about the Oakland offense. Crabtree off to a fast start. Amari Cooper, 9 catches. They got 2 good backs in Marshawn Lynch and Jalen Richard. And, of course, their quarterback, Derek Carr, 5 touchdowns, no picks so far this year. Coach Gruden, how are you going to stop this offense?
Well, I think like every great offense, you have to start with something. You have to stop the running game. Try to get Derek Carr, I should say, into some third and long.
You've done that a couple
times. But that's the only chance you got, really. You know, if they're effective running the ball, then Derek will be even more effective with his play actions and getting the ball out of his hand quick. You know, he gets rid of the ball so quickly and so effectively that we have to get him into some third and long and try to make him wait for some routes so our pass rush can get home.
What do you think of Marshawn Lynch, John? He's been in the league 10 years and was out last year. He's off to a good start this season.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's the real deal. There's no question about that. And I think I agree with Coach Gruden. I think that he becomes priority one. If they can slow him down, I think that helps them get set up so they can get after Carr.
Next question for the coach. Now, how do you attack the Raiders front? Redskins ran it well last week. Can you do it again this week, Coach?
You know, they do a lot of different ways, a couple different fronts, over, under front. They got 5-man front, really, a couple linebackers, but they utilize their safeties extremely well. Reggie Nelson and Carl Joseph, they do a good job of blitzing from the secondary, giving you 8-man boxes, what makes it hard to run against. So that'll be a great challenge for us this week. We want to run the ball. We got to handle the 8-man boxes.
Rams gave you 8-man boxes a bunch of times. They ran the ball effectively against the Rams. Does Jay Gruden just not want to say we're going to run the football this week? Or does he really believe they can throw the ball? I actually believe this week he believes they can throw the football a little bit more because I think he believes they can attack this Raiders secondary. Now, you don't want to attack him in 3rd down and 11 situations. Obviously, you got to get in some looks where you can't let Khalil Mack and Irvin and some of these guys like Edwards Jr. come out after the passer. But that said, they're going to try to run the football. There's no doubt about it that he's going to come out in this game believing with some of the counter stuff he had last week and some of the power action that they can run the football.
Well, we asked him that question. You're going to run it tonight, Coach?
You have to try, without a doubt. We had a lot of success doing it last week. I think that has to carry over, and that's, I think, our team's expecting us to give it an opportunity. So I think the amount of times we run will be determined by how successful we are early in the game and what the score of the game is. So hopefully we have some success, and the more we run it, the more those guys are standing on the sideline watching.
Well, that's what he's talking about. You know, it's according to what the score is in the game. If you're leading, you're going to run the ball more. If you're behind, you're going to throw it a little more. So he made a good answer there.
I want to go off the script real quick because, Sonny, do you have any advice for John? You were the honorary captain last go-around here. Did you win the toss?
No.
You lost the toss.
Lost the toss.
All right, so you got any advice for John here? Because John is today's honorary captain. He would like to take the ball if the Redskins win. The toss.
I think the big key, don't you, Sonny, is staying sober. And so far, I've got that knock. I'm good.
Good job, John.
My hand's not shaking. I'm good, Larry. I'm good.
Good job. Now, what is creating the Redskins' intensity on defense? Is it the coach? Is it a couple of key players? Coach Gruden, answer that question.
Well, I think players create it. You know, DJ, like you said, I think you have to draft the right guys, get them in here. I think you go out and get free agents that are intense people. And then your defensive coordinator has to have that persona also. So they all kind of rub off on each other. But DJ leads the group. Zach Brown's great. Mason Foster. Obviously, the defensive linemen are all intense, crazy son of a gun. So, it's a good group.
Hey, Derek Carr, what kind of quarterback is he? Do you like his style? I mean, he gets rid of the ball real quick.
Yes, I do. You got to like it. You know, they won 11 games last year, but he got hurt. Then when they lost the last 3 because he was hurt.
That's right. He broke his leg. All right.
He can throw. He can do it.
Here's the coach on Raider quarterback Derek Carr.
Scares me. I really don't get scared, but impresses me. I think just his command of the offense. I think the ability that he has to give his receivers opportunities to catch the ball and make plays for them. I mean, they could be covered. They could really close, but he puts the ball in locations where only they have a chance at it, and they come down with it. Very accurate, very tough, doesn't get sacked. Obviously, his win-loss record the last 18 games speaks for him.
2 sacks allowed by Oakland so far this year, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Going into today's action, he was rated number 3 in the NFL with a 126.5 quarterback rating. So
Nothing scares Coach.
nothing scares Coach, no. But what do you think about Derek Carr?
I just think he's a guy that can beat you if you give him a chance to beat you. And he can beat you in any situation. You're not going to count on Derek Carr to make mistakes to win a football game. And if you miscommunicate, if you give easy looks, if you do anything wrong, Derek Carr is going to take advantage of you, and that's where he is as a quarterback. And it seems pretty basic what I'm saying, but there's only about 7 or 8 guys in this league right now that really will take advantage of you when you're out of place. Truly do it. Derek Carr can do it. Now you're not afraid of him, but you sure better be on the same page defensively, and you better have a plan against Derek Carr, or you'll be in trouble.
Doc is ready. Doc Walker is now with us. Doc, you know, the Redskins' defense is much improved. Cooley's comments on being prepared, being in the right spot for the Redskins' defense to deal with Derek Carr. But do you gamble in this game, especially in third down situations, and bring a blitz to try to force his hand?
I think you have to. You're going to have to mix things up because this kid gets rid of the football so well, and he knows what he's doing. He's got poise. We have to disrupt that. That's why Ryan Kerrigan tonight is my spotlight player, because we need Ryan, who's been destructive now in each of our couple of games, to making a play. He's got to be a force and then drag some attention his way, and then hopefully Preston Smith can keep his trend up of making a play a game. We've got to get some playmakers in our front, and they've got to do it tonight.
All right, thank you, Doc. 42 minutes until kickoff. Want to thank the folks at Reston Limousine, Hall of Fame-style transportation provided by Reston Limousine. Book them at restonlimo.com. This will be only the 14th meeting between the Redskins and Raiders. Raiders lead the all-time series, 5 wins, 3 losses. Skins have won the last 2. Last time they met, 2013 in Oakland, 24-14. And, of course, 1984, the Raiders beat the Redskins in the Super Bowl. Before we hear from Doc Walker, again, John Riggins updates brought to you by McLean Mortgage Corporation, lending as it should be. And, Riggo, we'll get to your pick a little bit later. I heard your prediction during the pregame show with Kevin Sheehan. You kind of like the Redskins in this game, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think that, you know, they're starting to find out about themselves. I think that they will have success running the football. I think the passing game's going to come together, and I think the defense is much improved. And I think that Oakland, they've had to travel, and they might be a little full of themselves. I think there's a perfect time. I guess it would be considered an upset.
All right, John's prediction coming up a little bit later. And up next, Cooley's Keys. After the break, this is the Washington Redskins Radio Network.
You could win a lot of Benjamins. For
honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy.
From Subway Restaurant after that game. Get the coupon at Red 10.
It was fun watching the games today. It was. You're right.
Combination coverage. The Redskins have been running a bunch of this where they play a zone concept but lock their corners on outside and man, zone everything off inside, some zone stuff. That's where they've had the broken plays. Last week, Everett sticks out. Zach Brown has to communicate with Foster, with whoever else is covering it. I'm picking this dude up if he comes through my zone. You cannot give up easy plays to their tight ends, guys like Cook, Lee Smith, Wofford. If their backs come out of the backfield, that combination inside zone is where I really think they have to be good. You can't allow a bunch of big plays in the middle of the field there because I do believe outside they will have some good coverage.
Can Compton do what Foster could do?
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about having a guy like Will Compton on your team is he's very comparable to Mason Foster, and he's going to be tonight, whereas Foster with that shoulder, that's tough, man. That's tough to dislocate his shoulder and come back in the next week.
That's for sure.
Number two, I think Kirk Cousins has got to be accurate tonight in so much that I think he needs to complete right around 70% of his passes. That's the normal Kirk Cousins. And the Redskins run the ball. To me, that's a bonus. But I think the Redskins have an opportunity to take advantage of the Raiders secondary if Kirk Cousins is decisive and, more importantly, if he's accurate with the football. Now, there could be extenuating circumstances. He could have drops, but I'm not foreseeing that. He was inaccurate in the first week. I think he lacked a little bit of confidence, maybe trying to be a little bit too perfect at times. Just let it fly, let it go, trust your arm, and if he's accurate, they got a real shot tonight.
All right, man-to-man coverage on the outside, zone coverage on the inside. 70% accuracy tonight we're looking for. What do you think, man?
Well, I tell you, I like everything Chris said, and I believe, something that you're starting to realize with the play of Breland and Norman, that obviously Washington has two of the best corners in the league. And when you got corners like that and can do exactly what Chris is talking about, if they're going to man up on the receivers that they're going to be on, I liked what this defense. I mean, you don't know that Oakland's got a heck of an offense, but I think this defense will play well against them. And on the other side of the ball, the offense, I don't see any reason why they can't run the ball, do more of what they did last week. And I would expect it's time for Cousins to put on, get on the right foot that he was on so much of last year. We haven't seen that yet.
Last key. This is really a defensive key, and this is a Raiders offense that can make big plays and does. I'd love to see them shut them down, the Redskins shut them down. But I think a big key to tonight is basically riding the wave, withstanding the surge. You give up the big play, and you get down into the red zone. You stand strong, and you don't give up a touchdown. You find a way to force them into field goals, and so they don't put up 6-7. You hold them to 3 because they're going to make plays. Boys, Carr, Cooper, Crabtree, Cook, Lynch, they're going to make some plays. You give up that big play down the field, buckle down, get a stop. As Jay Gruden likes to say, they need to hunker down.
Hunker down and get some turnovers.
That would be. The Raiders haven't turned the ball over yet this season. They're not making it 3 weeks without turning it over. They're going to turn it over at some point tonight.
Well, we'll find out. Those are Chris's keys. We'll see how he did at halftime. Up next, Rigo's Pick. You're listening to Washington Redskins football.